It's literally, I'm just finding things to do because I can't just sit, because we've rewired ourselves to always be busy because we can't just sit in silence. If we actually, times that we didn't physically have something to do, we would recognize we really aren't busy. We have gaps in our day, but we fill those gaps, so we think that we're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that point, what percentage of those things that you're doing, that you're filling that time with, are actually contributing to the overall goal? So y'all know that obviously COVID accelerated some businesses. Some businesses kind of took off.
Yeah.
Other businesses, obviously, travel and events and things like that obviously took a hit. But see if you can guess this industry that skyrocketed during COVID. Name an industry. And there's no way you're going to name this.
I was like,
one, but
it's kind of vague.
It's got to be.
maybe I should just cut to the chase.
Just go ahead and just tell us.
Name a person in this country that.
Yeah, dude, just tell us.
So I was walking through the break room today, and on the news, apparently trading cards, sports cards,
I literally
do that.
has taken off.
Yes.
I don't know why. The sound wasn't. I have no idea why. Trading card, but apparently the business has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And there was a trading card, Rogers Hornsby. Y'all ever heard of this baseball player named Rogers Hornsby? You never heard of him?
Never.
I think he played back in your day.
No, you want to go there. Just go ahead and just finish up.
His card just sold for an all-time record. This will be a better game to play, the guessing game. How much you think his baseball card went for?
He says an all-time record.
All-time record.
Even more than
Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig.
The two previous record holders were a Lou Gehrig 1950 card and a LeBron James 2003, I guess his rookie card.
Really?
Yeah, those are the two previous record holders.
2 million, 2.5.
2 million, that's your guess?
Yeah.
Final answer?
I'm gonna go north of 10. I'm gonna say 13 million.
Okay, you went a little too far.
Okay.
$6.6 million.
That's a card.
For a piece of paper with a printed face on it.
Why is
Rogers Hornsby? I guess he was a baller back in the day. I can
Is he a
fact check.
baseball player?
Pitcher? Was he
Yeah, he's a baseball player.
Well, he's not that much of a baller because he's not a legend. I mean, he's
Well,
not.
I guess he is a legend. He's
He
apparently
must
he's a
be
legend.
When did he pitch? That's what I'm at.
I don't know. He pitched back when
Darren, if you don't know, I mean, you followed baseball. No, but this isn't an old joke. This isn't an old. I was starting to go there, and then I'm like, wait a minute. No, he played baseball. He likes baseball.
I'm not
His son
that
played
big
baseball.
I'm not that big of a fan, though. I mean, like not as far as historic. Like I'm
you
thinking
can
he
talk
probably
all day
played
because
with his,
of
Ty
Jaden,
Cobb and players of today.
Okay.
Yes, but if you start, I just don't know when Hornsby played.
Well, here we go. I just Googled him. Rogers Hornsby Sr., nicknamed the Raja. Don't know what that means. Was an American baseball infielder, manager, and coach who played 23 seasons in Major League Baseball.
Jeez.
He played for the Cardinals, Giants, Braves, Cubs, and St. Louis Browns.
Wow, so that had to be in the 30s.
He was born in 1896.
Oh, dude. Okay, I get it. All right, see.
His MLB debut was in 1915 with the Cardinals, and his last MLB appearance was in 1937. So,
okay.
Yeah. So apparently he was a big deal back in the 20s.
The earliest baseball card.
$6.6 million.
If someone has that card.
So my parents' next door neighbor, that's what he does, is he trades cards, like literally for a living.
God, can you be a bigger nerd?
Is he buys and sells cards.
I got another trivia question for you.
Okay, that was a rabbit hole we just went down.
Yeah, but hold on, before we leave.
Next one.
Another trivia question for you. Name the football player who has made the most amount of money per snap. No, sorry, per start in their career.
Per start?
Per start. Who is number one all-time most money made per start in their career?
It can't be the obvious in Peyton Manning. It can't be that obvious.
No, because he started so many games.
I think he had the most earnings.
Think of somebody that hasn't started that much. That's obvious, right? That the less you start, but the bigger contract. But that's the thing is it's got to be a perfect storm, right? Because if you don't start that much, you're probably not going to get that much money.
I mean, is it Adam Vinatieri as a kicker?
Nope.
It's a quarterback. Has to be.
It is a quarterback.
Chase
Daniel?
Wow, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Chase Daniel has made $7.6 million per start.
Damn, he played how many years?
This is his 13th. He's on the
Chiefs.
Chargers.
Oh, was he on the Chargers?
On the Chargers. This is like his
been
8th team.
He's been on as many teams as you.
Yeah. More teams.
Yeah.
13th season.
You jealous?
A little bit.
You ever have that?
A little bit. It's like, I could have been a backup for 15 years.
Darren, you probably have these moments all the time, but that realization that you're getting older,
Yeah.
that's my realization. He beat me in my high school playoffs my junior year. And he's like an old washed up dude in the NFL right now.
Yeah. What did he
That
play,
makes
South
me
Lake?
feel like
South Lake Carroll?
Yeah, he went to
But
South
did
Lake.
you see the comparison between Calvin Johnson and Tom Brady?
No.
So Calvin Johnson was in junior high school, just finished junior high school when Tom Brady got drafted.
No way. And he just got inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So he played and retired at 31. I think Calvin retired at 31. Tom Brady is now 44 with a couple good years left, right? And he is already inducted in the Hall of Fame, and Brady is still playing.
That's so funny.
Brady is just, he's a different beast.
It's
man.
about time you joined the
Different beast. Look,
Team
probably
Brady.
the most unathletic person ever to walk the earth. Like,
but the greatest player of all time.
Doesn't that show you something that's just
Crazy.
like,
Crazy.
like the mental, like I'm serious,
yeah.
the mental
And discipline.
part of that game, and the discipline
Yeah.
means so much more than the athleticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that I played with in college that played with him in New England, they said, look, he is like the most embarrassing guy to watch run, but he will out-condition every single person
Really?
on that field. He goes, that dude could run 100 gassers if he wanted to, like, and not change speed. And he's like, granted, the starting speed isn't very fast, but he goes and goes.
That's like his career.
That's his thing.
Yeah, just longevity. Wow.
Anyways,
That's a good rabbit hole.
yeah.
Which is ironic
So,
because the topic today is talking about being busy, and we're apparently so busy that we can sit here and jack around for 10 minutes. No, but I think to set this up, this year, this period, at least for me personally, I've never been this busy in my life, this much going on. 2 young kids, a job, full-time job, this podcast. There's a lot going on for me personally. And most people I know personally, most of the people I know closest to me, say the same thing. This is the busiest they've ever felt in their life. And the phrase, nobody cares how busy you are, is the phrase that I keep hearing in my head. Because that's my thought is, you hear that, people say, man, I'm slammed right now, or I'm barely treading water. All these phrases for how busy somebody is. And so that got me thinking about that phrase. Hey, nobody cares how busy you are. And I think there's a couple of different routes that we can go down. We thought of three ways you can really translate that. Number one, nobody cares how busy you are because, hey, guess what? I'm busy too.
Right.
So I could really care less, Darren, how busy you are. I don't want to hear it. I'm busy too.
Right.
Number two is, hey, I need you to do this for me. I really don't care how busy you are.
Right. It's a selfish
I need
side.
this getting done. So I'm selfish, right? That's my mentality. It's selfishness. And then the third is busy is not really the goal.
Right.
The goal is not to be busy. The goal is to be productive.
Right. Efficient.
So nobody really cares how busy you are. They care about how productive you are.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of go travel down those 3 ways. First one being, hey, I don't care how busy you are, Darren, because I'm busy too.
Yeah.
When you hear that, or when you hear that phrase in general, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I just think, like you said, you can list off 100 ways that you start small talk in a conversation. Chances are 75 of those in today's, and I'm going to just say business climate and business world, is some form of how busy you are right now. Man, whether you try to put a positive spin on it, man, I wish there was 2 of me, man. There's just a lot, just getting
Not enough hours in the day.
Not enough hours in the
All
day.
those phrases. Better than being broken board.
Yeah,
those
and
phrases.
it's like, and it's frustrating because it's like we all are.
Yeah.
Like everybody is. And, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about it, but like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, like you don't need to let somebody know how busy you are. Like, here's the deal. Like, if you have so much on your plate, like you could have saved that 10 seconds that you just BS'd about how busy you were and actually got to the conversation and accomplished something and gotten off and bought yourself 10 more seconds.
Yep.
I mean, hypocritical as we just wasted 7 minutes on the beginning of the show, but point being is it's like the phrase that, and I got to give Dwayne Andrews at Fresno State a credit because I heard it from him the first time. I'm not saying he created it. First time I heard it was, man, don't talk about it, cub. Be about it.
Right.
Cub.
I mean, tell you where he's from. So, South Central LA.
Abilene, Texas?
Yeah. Across the bridge. Just across the bridge. But it's like, look, you don't need to tell everybody how busy you are because nobody cares. Because think about when someone tells you that. All you're waiting to do is to move on to the real conversation. And then you're like, oh, I got to give you this response, like that, like, oh, cool. I mean, I guess it's better than being bored. You know, I guess it's good problems to have.
It almost hurts my ears to hear it when I hear it.
It does.
It like makes me angry a little bit.
But it's funny because we all still say it.
Exactly. I still say it too.
It's habit.
Yeah.
It's become habit. And I will say this: are we really that busy? Or is it a reset because there was a time through COVID where we sat back a little bit? Like we were busy pre-COVID and what we thought was busy. And then COVID hit and it slowed things down. We had time at the house. We started to see life a little differently. Things started to slow down. And now we're back into the fold. Is that now? Is it partly that because now we're getting back into the fold? Now it's like shit.
Well, like yes,
I'm
maybe.
looking at it.
I'll buy that a little bit.
I think maybe, but I think it's less about that we're actually more busy. I think it's that we want to justify that we're not still in that place.
Absolutely right, and I agree. But I think it's become like a habit. It's a part of the vernacular now to just say, "Oh man, I'm just busy," even when you're not. Yeah. It's a word that we're continuously using when we don't have to use it. Yeah. A lot of the times we're fucking not busy. We're just.
Well, it just rolls off your tongue.
It just rolls off your tongue.
You're not really thinking about it.
You're not thinking, well, I'm all really slam. It's just part of the conversation.
Well, Darren, you're one of the busiest people I know. You have the most going on. I'll rephrase it in the better way. Yeah. You have the most going on of anybody.
Your schedule literally has the most color blocks on it.
Now, I would call you out and argue that color blocks.
Color blocks. Let's go down
Does your calendar?
Let's travel down this road for a second. What do you mean by color blocks?
All right, guys, we're gonna do this. So hold on, I'm gonna pull these sleeves up. Let's go. I ain't scared from this fight, y'all. Let's go.
I'm just saying. Have this one. I'm just saying you've never asked me about my color blocks.
Yeah,
but back to you, D. Huh? And now I'm going to call you out and argue that you're also one of the most disorganized people I've ever met.
Absolutely.
But, which by the way, I had a conversation on the way here with a client of ours. It's like, we've been talking to Darren about getting you guys out to this game, and we just aren't having any luck. I was like, okay, hold on.
Okay, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're
trying to coordinate something with Darren for other people.
Yeah, you know why?
You're talking to the wrong person.
Let me tell you why. Because there's always something back in return. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't respond, right? Yeah. Like, maybe I don't want to go to the game, because if I do go to the game, what is it in for? What's going to be asked of me?
Well, and I want to give you some grace, because I'm going to save face with our client, because this is a very good client of yours and mine, is that just coordinating.
DJ, you're allowed to edit this part of the show. Thanks, Tom, for bringing this shit up. Oh, my God.
Hey, you ran with it. I said, hey, this is a client of ours. Whoops.
All right, reset.
As we were saying,
nobody else is
that's
thinking
not
this
because if someone comes to you and is trying to coordinate something, it's like, hey,
I'm the wrong person.
you gotta check with Jessica on my schedule, or you gotta check with Claire, or you gotta check with Tiffany. Like, hey, look, because here's the deal: is if I commit to it, which you generously do more than you should, right? Is you say, yeah, dude, I'd love to help you out and I'd love to be there. But then there's so I think you're so far dude, I can't commit to anything, because I'm getting myself in trouble all the time.
Exactly.
Let's get back to the route I was gonna go down, which is, Darren, you have the most going on of anybody I know. So when somebody tells you, man, I'm just so what goes through your head?
Dude, I don't even. I'm telling you, it's just a part of the conversation. Now, it doesn't even faze me when I hear that, because I hear it all the time as well. And there are people that are, like you two are just as busy in a lot of different ways, and people I'm around, it doesn't even faze me. It's like it just goes right over. And I'm like, they'll say, yeah, I'm busy and I've been slammed in this, and I'm like, okay, so what else? How can let's go down this road. Okay, what else? What else is going on? Because I'm looking at it the same way. Like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I think that I'm busy at the same time, and I could care less if you are not. What if that word comes out of your mouth? It doesn't even bother me. Like, I'm numb to that word. Like, it may bother you when the people say, "Well, I'm busy." It does not even bother me. It's like, okay, that's just another word.
Yeah, I guess maybe it bothers me. And again, I do it too. So I'm being such a hypocrite. I'm being such a hypocrite when I say this. But I think it rubs me the wrong way, because it's like you said a second ago, you're spending time complaining about how busy you are. Yeah. Number one, freaking be grateful that you're busy, that you have things going on. But number two, it's like, quit bitching and just get it done. Yeah. Like, you don't have to tell us about how busy you are. Just get it done. Yeah. That's all that matters. Just get it done.
You said something right there, because there was a time specifically, and that's why I keep going back to COVID. There was a time before COVID where we just didn't know what the future was going to hold, right? Businesses were failing. Our business took a huge hit in certain sectors, right? And there were a lot of us that sat there, even in our own office, that were like, what is the future going to hold? And we weren't busy. There was nothing coming down the pipe, right? And I remember a few times when I'm not going to mention names, but we talked about, we wanted to lay that groundwork for work. We needed the work. And we kept on praying on the work. I was one that was praying.
Should I call him out? Because I know
I'm not going to call him out, call those people out. But now here we are.
Yeah.
And a lot of the seeds that we planted during that time of COVID, when we were doing nothing, we planted those seeds, and now God gave us those seeds. Like, they're sprouting right now, right? Yeah. They are sprouting, and now we're like, oh my God,
we got too much.
We got too much.
Can't handle
the harvest was way too. Yeah. We didn't expect that.
You talked about filling your booty cheeks. That makes me cringe to hear that phrase of. Like complaining about, I've got too much.
You got too much.
That is such a bizarre
That's the
problem.
harvest that you wanted this.
Yeah.
And now we're in the midst of it, and now it's like, oh my God, I'm busy. Well, and I'm just as guilty.
That's so tone deaf too. Yeah. I've got too much. Think about what percentage of people would kill to be in that scenario.
Now, listen. I also want to say that there is stress that comes with that, right? And not fulfilling the obligations that you've committed to, right? That's a whole nother episode. So I acknowledge that. But also, too, I do think people say that as somewhat of like an ego thing, too. Like, hey, I want you to know.
For sure.
It's like being at the gym. You're like, bro, how you doing, man? Oh, bro, I'm about to crush the freaking hardest workout ever. It's like, okay, you're in the gym. Like, we're all in the gym. Like, we're all working out. Don't freaking tell me about it. Just go freaking do it.
Yeah, but your workout's my warm up, bro.
Yeah, bro. I just did 400. I just benched 400. What do you bench, bro? It's like, dude. Okay, what do you want to talk about? It's a little bit of that, because we feel like we have to say it. I want you to know, especially like, we're in the real estate brokerage world, and there's a lot of egos like back and forth. And it's like, you talk to another broker, that's the first thing you say is how good business is right now, how busy I am. I don't know how I'm going to get it all done. It's like, okay, bro.
Take a hike.
Yeah, chief. Whatever. Yeah, chief. Yes. Yes.
But I'm trying to think of what's the best case scenario. If I'm Darren, if you call me up and you say, hey Ben, what's going on? How you doing? And I say, man, I'm just so busy right now. Like, in my mind, what's the best case scenario that comes out of me verbalizing that phrase?
Nothing.
I'm just so busy. Like, why do I do that?
No.
What do I think's going to come out of that?
Nothing's going to come out
That's
of it.
That's my point. If nothing's going to come out of it, why do I do it?
It's become habit.
Yes and no. And transition to the second one is what could come out of it. I could not want to give you more business. Like, say you're talking to somebody and you think it's like, hey, I've got to sound busy because I've got all this stuff. Well, you know what? I really don't. Okay, then you're too busy to handle my stuff. Because if you're complaining about being busy, I'm not going to drop any more work on your lap. So that's what could come out of it.
Yeah. That comes out. That's kind of what I think about when I hear that a lot too. Yeah. When I'm hearing people say that I'm busy or I'm slammed. Like, I hear the word I'm slammed more than anything. Not even busy. It's gotten to we've elevated it to slam now. I hear that all the time, and I'm like, when I hear those words, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say turned off, but like you said, Tyler, well then, because I own a couple businesses. So I'm looking at it like, well, shit, you don't need my business. You got a lot of work. Yeah. Why would I even call you? Because you're slammed. Why am I reaching out to you to have these conversations? It really
serves no good purpose.
I was going to say that the whole thing is there's no good benefits come from that comment and that conversation.
This is harsh. And again, talking to myself, I'm also verbalizing how mentally weak I am in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about how I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I can't. Maybe I do. I do recognize and honor the fact that I do need help. Yeah. But I'm just saying I'm succumbing to the emotion of that moment that I'm just so busy. Well, I'm being a prisoner of the moment.
And that's that third point that you talked about is like, it's not a badge of honor to say that you're busy. It's
not. Yeah.
Like nobody thinks higher of you because you're busy. Like, oh yeah, especially in younger people. And again, I am only speaking to our industry and commercial real estate is like the younger people say that a lot, or the like mid-level people that are like been in the business for like 5 to 10 years. And like I literally never hear our CEO say like, I'm just so busy, I don't know what to do. You know what? They just shut you up when you come up talking nonsense at the desk because they literally are busy and they literally have a lot to do and they don't have time for distractions. Yeah. But the idea that there's a badge of honor associated with being busy is completely false. And in fact, it literally makes you look disorganized, that people control your schedule and you don't control your own schedule. So you're out of control, like you said, right? So it does nothing for you to explain to people how busy
and that's what I hate to hear too. To me, that pisses me off. And mostly people are right. Like you said it earlier, like there's times where I'm disorganized or Ben, you said it, like I'm disorganized in my time on my schedule. I'm out of control. I've lost control of my own schedule. And I hate hearing that, man. I hate when people say that to me because I feel again, like I'm so damn disorganized. I can't get my own shit together. And I don't like that. And I'll say this to you too. If you're someone that's listening, like if you're talking about what's going on in your regular day life, just think about this. When you go home, like you go home to 4 kids, right? I go home to my 5-year-old and
whoever's in town.
My 20-year-old just left the other day. You go home 2 kids, right?
Almost empty nester.
Yeah, almost. Anyway, but do your kids give a damn when you say I'm busy?
No.
Do they? I mean, if you went home and Coop, I'm busy, man. Busy does not even register. That word does not register. And let's go throw the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, it either crushes them, like you don't love me because you're not spending time with me.
Right. But there is a direct effect by that word, right? Yeah. It's either they're like, so what, we're still going to do this? Yeah. Or you're busy. Oh, man. Dad, like my son, Jaden, he's like, Dad, he said it to me. You're always too busy. Yeah. And that shit hurts. Yeah. I mean, that hurts. But it's because I'm not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not.
That's actually a really good lead into the number 2 that we talked about, the selfishness aspect. Yeah. But before we get there, speaking of busy, the people at Choctaw Casino and Resort have been busy.
You just got to give me the thumbs up. You got to pass that.
Dude, your ad reads are 8 minutes long. We need to.
You know what? Go ahead, give it back. Go ahead, Tybo.
I'm going to give it to you, Tybo. Okay. How busy have the people at Choctaw Casino and Resort been lately?
They are busy, but guess what? They're not going to tell you about it because they just launched a grand opening of a whole new expansion, doubled the size of the project.
Well,
it is unbelievable. While the weather's still hot, go get you some pool days, swim up bar, kids pool.
Not sure why both y'all's arms are in the air.
Preacher.
What's that?
Not sure why both y'all have your arms in the air right now.
Because my man is speaking the word.
I'm just saying, like it is awesome. Hey, short drive up 75, Durant, Oklahoma. It's literally just over an hour from downtown Dallas. It is unbelievable. They've doubled the size of slot machines. They've doubled the games and restaurants. Music.
You know what I've been doing?
It is awesome. We're going to be up there very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Interviewing an artist that we will announce later, but we're going to be spending the whole freaking weekend there.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing?
Holla!
If you haven't, follow Choctaw Casino Resort on IG.
Yeah.
And look at what they have going on.
I did notice you liked one of their pictures.
Man,
like, Darren doesn't like anything.
Well, think about the casino, the resort itself, the new tower, the swimming pool area. I mean, they're showing it to you, and whoever's doing their videography, We need to figure out who that is.
Hook a brother up.
Hook a brother up. We need to be involved.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, make your busy schedule, take a break in that, and drive up there.
Get busy getting Choctaw.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back to point number 2, talking about the selfishness aspect.
Speaking of selfish.
Speaking of selfish, Darren.
Selfish. Oh, Lord.
No, actually, I'm pointing the finger right back at myself.
Yes.
Because I am the worst about if I need something from Darren or Tyler, calling them up, hey, they better drop everything right now. I don't care how busy they are. Mm-hmm. Drop everything you got and handle what I need from you. Mm-hmm. What say you?
I think it's rightfully so because you're not living in my shoes, nor do you care about what I have to go through. You could care less about the 6 or 7 meetings that I have going on or the speech that I might have on. Like, to me, that's a lot. Yeah. Like, I got a lot on my plate, but you're not living in my shoes. All you're doing is concerned about,
what do I got going on?
What I got going. And I'm probably, you may think you're the worst. I am definitely by far the worst. My wife and our biggest argument is that I can't understand how busy, supposedly, her schedule is.
Oh, supposedly.
And how overwhelmed she is at work. Because that's our main argument. She texts me during, I'll have 3 or 4 Zoom calls going on in a day. She'll text me and I won't reply back. And then, what happened? Well, I'm busy. And she feels like that's not an excuse. I'm busy as well. So that's one of the things that we go back and we just can't. You can't relate because you're not in their shoes.
You're not in their shoes.
Yeah. So maybe a solution, but also like a perspective is if you expect someone, like you expect Darren and I to answer on the podcast because we've committed to you that we are invested into this, right? And that we are supposed to be reliable if you need something from us, right? Because we've committed to it. So people, if you've committed, they're going to hold you accountable to it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care what you have going on in your schedule. I either hired you to do this or we partnered on this to do this, or, hey, you committed to me that we're going to do this, so you're going to do it, right? You don't just call someone up that you need something from and expect them to do it, right? The reason that you don't care if they're busy is because they've already committed to it and they've either verbally or they have actually written it out and signed it, right? Mm-hmm. So one thing for people on the solution side is if you feel like you're so busy, if you feel like it's overwhelming, then stop saying yes to people. Stop committing to it because now you have lost the right to say how busy you are because you have committed to do that job. So free yourself up. Free up the stress that you feel so that you stop telling everybody how busy you are, and either make a commitment early on that something that you can actually do and don't talk about it, just do it, or then you can not have that on your plate because you said, look, I've just got too much. I'm at the point in my career where I'm literally telling people, hey, I'm sorry, I got to send you to somebody else because I can't, because I was sick and tired of literally, this is how every other email that I sent. Apologies, I'm getting back to you so late. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. I'm just getting to this. Hey, I've been buried today or this or whatever. I was over it. So I'm telling people now, it's like, listen, I'm not the best person because I'm not going to be able to give you the service that you need. And guess what? Like it's actually, I'm not going to say I feel great or I've mastered it, but it provides some because now I don't have people not giving a shit if I'm busy or not and expecting me to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that, again, perspective, if you commit to it, don't talk about how busy you are.
Right.
Now, if you haven't committed to it, be honest and say, hey, look, I can't help you out. I really just don't have the bandwidth to extend to you.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
You got anything to add to that one?
No, man.
Man, you might have just dropped the mic on that second
That's
point.
True. That is
True. Yeah, transition to the third point. And Tyler, you alluded to earlier. It's, for whatever reason, I have it played up in my head that the busier I am translates to more success and translates to a bigger bank account, translates to me being a better father, and translates to me being a better business. Like, for whatever reason, I've made up in my mind that if I'm not busy, if I'm not doing something constantly, then I'm not going to be successful.
Yeah. Just staying busy.
I'm just staying busy. So therefore, I'll make stuff up. Whereas if I really, truly sat down and I said, okay, these 5 things, these 10 things, whatever need to be accomplished today, and I just hammered them out. Now, again, I get our business is a little different. There's always something you can be doing, which I guess is part of the problem.
Yeah.
But if I just said, hey, I'm going to commit to doing these 5 things, it would be pretty amazing how quickly I could do those things. Yep. Whereas the current mentality I have is I'll drag them out, or I'll think I'm going to got to be doing this. And so I guess the argument is, hey, nobody cares how busy you are. They care about how productive you are. That's so right. What does your number say at the end of the day? Mm-hmm. What did you really actually accomplish?
And that's only from self, because you can only judge that.
Right.
Right. You can. No one else can judge that. And I will say this though, like, the word busy is something that's just in our vernacular. We're just keep on using it. That's one thing. But there are a lot of people that do, like, specifically CEOs or those that own companies, something's always popping up. Mm-hmm. Like certain things and let's just be real, certain things you just can't control. Like if you want to just, my schedule looks like this and I'm going to do this at 7 o'clock and then I'm going to do this at 10 o'clock, bullshit. Mm-hmm. When you own a company, shit happens. Yeah. And there's fire drills that come out and you are fundamentally busy. Yeah. Just because you have to deal with things. The thing is that we have to change. Like I don't mind, like when I hear people say, hey, look, today I just can't, like you said, Tyler, I just can't do it. Mm-hmm. I just don't have the time today to get it done. Yep. I'm not the best. Go somewhere else and
or I'll get to it at X when I can get to it. Yeah. But at least expectations are set.
Yeah. So set those expectations. But man, going back, man, I don't know. I just feel like I hear that word, I'm busy, all the time. I say it all the time. Mm-hmm. I think it's a problem. It is absolutely a problem of mine to continue with that.
So think about it, and we alluded to it earlier, but if you're a CEO or you're somebody that has been able to figure out time management. And that's what this comes down to, right? Is time management. And if you've been able to figure that out, and then maybe someone that's selling you something or someone else tells you how busy you are, what do you hear? As like a business owner, CEO, do you hear like, oh, this dude's killing it? Or do you hear, okay, he's probably not managing his time very well.
Managing his time well.
Because here's the deal, is why in our culture today does everybody say that they're busy? Because we literally fill every second with something, whether it's your phone, and I'm holding up my phone if you're just listening to it. So we fill it with our phone. So if there's 3 minutes and we're sitting at our desk, and it's like, okay, I just sent out an email. Oh, I'm going to get on social media. You know why we say we're busy is because, yes, something is going on every minute of our time. And we never allow ourselves to eliminate distractions, all those gap fillers, all those things, because we just fill. Because if we stop and we do have 2-3 minutes to do nothing, I feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like my wife says it all the time. Like you can't just not be doing something. So like, okay, I go from leveling my lawn and with sand to fixing a trench to cutting the grass to pulling up trees it's literally I'm just finding things to do because I can't just sit, because we've rewired ourselves to always be busy because we can't just sit in silence. If we actually, times that we didn't physically have something to do, we would recognize we really aren't busy. Mm-hmm. We have gaps in our day. Yeah. But we fill those gaps, so we think that we're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that point, what percentage of those things that you're doing, that you're filling that time with, are actually contributing to the overall goal?
Right. True.
Probably a smaller percentage than everybody thinks.
For me personally, a lot smaller percentage than what I would think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are the things that I'm doing throughout the day, are they really contributing to the overall goal that I'm trying to accomplish? Uh-huh. Andy Frisella talks about the power list. He says accomplish 5 things, not 10, not 20, 5 things every single day that are going to take you closer to that goal. Yeah. And so I think if I just had what are my 5 critical things that I got to do? Yeah. Because I fill my time with 20 not so critical.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Right.
Some of those things out of your control, though.
Right. Well, yeah. And to your point, Darren, things do pop up. You can't control every single day, every single minute. I'm not saying that. But if you look at it from a macro scale over the course of a week, not every day, 24/7, are things just popping up. And if they are, you probably need to reevaluate things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think exactly what Tyler said, and I do this all the time. I'll fill myself because I'm a busybody. I just fill myself. So I don't have any excuses. Yeah. Like there's no excuse for me to and I should, because I'm a filler of time. Yeah. I need to shut the hell up when I start saying and stop saying that I'm busy.
It's like football, like using a football analogy. All that matters really is your performance on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The coach doesn't care what you did on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, extra outside of. He doesn't really care.
What do you judge?
Did it translate to productivity do fans care? Nobody cares what you did Monday through Friday or Saturday. They care about what did you produce on Sunday.
Yeah. You could be the greatest locker room guy. Exactly. You could be the hardest worker in the weight room. You could be there early. You do all those things. But if you don't actually produce and contribute on Sunday, nobody cares. Yeah. Same thing here. But we wear this as a badge of honor, like, hey, we're successful because we're busy. No, because look, everybody that's busy, who do we look to and we say, man, I want to be like that person?
No.
The people that aren't busy.
Yeah.
The people that
are free.
The people that
freedom.
are free because they've been disciplined and what their attention is going to, that actually leads to results.
Okay, so what are some of the words that we can use? Because a lot of it, like we talk about chatter all the time, chatter in your brain. What are some of the words or the filler words that we can use outside of just I'm busy or I'm slammed? Someone came to you, Ben, and said, hey man, how are things going? Instead of you saying I'm busy,
I'm great, dude.
I'm grateful for the opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm so wired to be like, because everything I want to say has something to do with.
I don't know if I would say this, but I think mentally I would think, hey, I've got a lot going on, but I'm working on being more efficient.
Yeah.
I'm working on being more productive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would actually say that. That's a good question.
Okay, so hey, look, how are you doing, man? Tell you what, man, I'm present in the moment, and I love it. Just be positive, because first of all, and the other side of it is nobody wants a freaking negative Nancy.
Right.
Nobody
knows.
And I have been guilty of this for a really long time. That it's just, are you saying yes because I am this guy?
Yes. Concur.
But you complain, and it's like, don't freaking tell me the pain, show me the baby. Like nobody cares how hard you have it, right? So it's like, okay, just be grateful. Turn the question around on them. Like, ask somebody, man, doing awesome. How are you doing? How is this? Or how is that? Like, just say, I'm doing great. Yeah. Leave it at that. Yeah. I'm not saying be dishonest. Like, if you're having a really rough day, I'm not saying that. Like, obviously give an honest response, but like, just turn around on the other people. Because guess what? They want to talk about themselves. They actually don't care about what you have to say. Yeah. They want to talk about themselves.
Yeah, I think a good accountability for us three is each time we hear that from each other, just you have my full permission to call me out for that.
Yeah. All right, let's practice. Let's just say you're busy.
Okay.
Hey Ben, man, how you been, man? How's it been going lately?
Dude, I'm
soft.
You are soft. Man,
no, but seriously, I think if we could all three just encourage it and just get to the mentality of, hey, this isn't serving me well at all to complain or mention or bring up how busy I am. It's not serving me well.
Yeah.
My mortgage company doesn't care how busy I was this month. They care about money. They care about that check.
Hey, did you cash your check?
They didn't ask me how many meetings I set. They didn't ask me how many books I read. They say, hey, where's the money? Yeah. That's all they care about.
Look, I want to be clear. I think the three of us are on the same page. This isn't like, hey, shut up, toughen up type of deal. This is like, hey, look, we want to draw attention to this because we recognize that as a culture, we're just all overwhelmed with things. But talking about being busy doesn't contribute or move you any closer to your goal. Yeah. So let's not waste time. Let's not waste each other's energy. Like I said, you could buy back 15 seconds. Think about how many phone calls, if you're in the business world, how many phone calls a day. I mean, that adds up to 10, 15 minutes. That's like 5 or 6 emails that you could have answered.
Right.
And listen, what I got out of this today is being busy. Saying the word I'm busy is just an excuse, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's just basically saying I'm not efficient with my time, period. That's what I got out of this today. How do I become more efficient with my time? Like, if I really want to do something about it, I got to get rid of that word, using that word every day, become more efficient with my time, and understand that when I say that, or if I'm saying I'm slammed, all this is negative vibes. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Here's another way to respond. I just thought of this.
This ought to be good.
Hey, one day closer to my goals, man. One day closer.
She said it to me, I'm going to slap you. Sound like some sort of poster.
I'm going to be that guy. You know what? I'm going to be the over the top guy.
Good.
Life is
I'm going to be that guy, and especially to like brokers that I don't know. What is it? What's the whole thing? Blessed beyond. It's a whole saying. It's like super cheesy. Blessed beyond. Oh, I'll think of that. Whatever. Y'all. Yeah. Just let me down too much.
Anyway. So I think the point is these are the three things we think of when we hear that term.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Let's encourage each other. Just take that out.
Yeah.
Take that out of your vocabulary. And we're just as guilty as anybody else. Trust me.
I'm probably the worst.
We're the worst about this. So, but hopefully we can start changing that mentality of what's really important. What is busy the goal, or is being productive the goal?
That's right.
So anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We appreciate your support as always. Darren, you got any? Where can people find us, D?
Yeah, don't start this, man. We don't have enough time, man.
Hey, for real,
Darren Woodson
show. For real, check out the documentary that the Cowboys did.
I guess it's still
it's still available.
It's still available. Yeah, it's not like a TV show where you can't get it again.
But go if you haven't seen it already, go check it out. It's awesome. It's an incredible tale of our friend Darren, and it's really cool. It's
still upset you didn't drop my name, but
I would never.
It's a visual representation of our very first episode of the podcast.
It is.
Hey, we're gonna have words if on your Hall of Fame speech you don't.
Dude, you will not be mentioned.
Matter of fact, you can't come. You two can't come with
the whole family. You are not invited to the party.
Don't show up to the party because you will not be on the list.
Sorry, I cut you off like I do all the time.
No, man. But hey, go to the Darren Woodson Show. Follow us. Leave a comment. Talk. Look, I think the one thing that we like is when we can be engaging. Mm-hmm. Like when we can engage with the audience, and you guys can send us topics. Like send us topics. Mm-hmm. We need more. Send us guests that you guys want us to have on, and just know that we're not perfect. And the topic today was being busy.
We're all guilty.
We're not busy. We're not busy. We're open. We want to grow the show, and we want to provide as great a content as we possibly can.
Boom. Thanks, guys.